All right, so the Memphis Grizzlies are trading John Morant to the Portland Trailblazers for Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray. I think this is an amazing trade for the Trailblazers and and the Grizzlies. Well, not amazing, but I don't think the Grizzlies necessarily lost in this. Some are saying maybe they could have gotten a bit more. Ja's value was really low. Jeremy Grant, veteran player. Chris Murray, young guy. You can probably that you might be able to develop. In some cases, best case scenario. Jeremy Grant. Basically, they just salary dumped Jeremy Grant to the Memphis Grizzlies, which would because at this point in time, Ja essentially had a negative value. So the Memphis Grizzlies, like people were asking the Grizzlies to attach picks to Ja Morant in order to for them to trade for him. So them just getting a salary dump in Jeremy Grant and a Chris Murray, just another young piece. Um, it's it's not that bad. It's still Jeremy Grant, solid player, not the best. Uh, People don't necessarily love him, but he's a vet. Could help with what they're building over there in Memphis. Chris Murray, another young guy, see what he does with, super young team with that has some potential. They might be all right this season actually. It might be all right. But for the Trailblazers, I think this is really interesting because their guard depth is crazy right now. Now let's go to the roster at this moment in time. So they got Denis Avia, he's listed as a forward, but I like, and he's 6'8". I like. I feel like he's more of a guard type, facilitator, can score the ball, he has wing size, but I feel like he's interchangeable between guard forward. You have Scoot, who was really who I really liked him in the playoffs this year against the Spurs, first round. He was more than solid. Like, hold on, let's see. Let's see what he averaged in the playoffs. So 14 a game, solid. Third year. And people were saying he was a bust. The first couple years of his career, and he's really gotten good. Shooting great from three. Shooting great from three, like 50% from three. Shot 64%, 63% last two in the first two games. Field goal percentage kind of fell off last couple of games, but for the most part, he was looking really good. Good size, plays defense, competitor, aggressive, super athlete, super athletic. He was solid. He was real solid. Dropped a 30 piece. I really like what I saw from Scoot. Really like what I saw from Scoot. I think he's gonna be really good. Um, they got Drew Holiday, good defender, can play his role, get guys involved, can score when need to. You got Dame coming back. He's coming off of ACL, no Achilles actually. We don't necessarily know what he's gonna look like, but if he can still shoot the ball, and I saw that little workout video he put out, he might be solid. I don't expect him to come be, Dame. He is older, just coming off an Achilles. I don't expect him to be, the old Dame or anything, but if he's like can be, I say like at least 75% of that, that'll be really good for the Blazers. You got John Morant, not the best shooter, but can put up big numbers. Is a facilitator. He's really a passing guard, but can go off if you need him to. Um, I would like him being the primary ball handler. You already know Josh, super athlete. He sometimes it looks like he might have lost a step. At least verticality wise. He doesn't really, have that same explosion that he once had, which was, all time. But now it's like, I still think he can be a really good player. Maybe not that, all NBA level that he once was, but still, all-star level caliber. I feel like he still be that. He'll be able to distribute more. You got multiple you got a solid five guys around him at least that can go get a bucket. If he can start feeding those guys, I feel like his assists will be up this year as well. I think this is a good situation for Ja. If and this is before free agency, so if this is the roster that they're going with, I really like this situation for Ja Morant. He doesn't have he's not going to have a super huge role. Not going to be, it's not going to the team's success isn't going to be majorly dependent on whether he plays well or not. You still hope he plays well, but they have a lot of guys that can, that can play at a high level, you know, to a level that John Morant used to play at. They have a lot of guys that can play at that level as well. So it's not going to be all on Ja. More of a reduced role, which I feel would be good for him and his PR at this point right now because everybody was shitting on Ja, and it was just a lot of bullshit going on around Ja that just isn't attractive, which is why his trade value was so low in the first place. You got Shaden Sharp, good player. He's not. He's not. I feel like Shaden would be the worst out of the group, but he did shoot the ball really well in the playoffs. I feel like he played well in the playoffs as well. He was really good, and he's another super athlete, good size, can defend if he wants to. If he just puts out the energy, has more pride on that end. I feel like so that's so that would be one, two, three, four, five, really six guards on the roster that are all really good players. Really good players. I feel like, and people were saying that the Trailblazers should make another move, make another splash play, maybe get a Jaylen Brown. I don't I don't necessarily think you have to. At least this year, I I want to see this play out with all these guards because you might be able to go a full guard, like a four guard lineup, like like the Spurs did. The Thunder do at times. The Thunder have a lot of guards, and people were saying that this move doesn't really make sense. They don't like it. They don't see how they compete. I'm like, if you look at a lot of the teams out west right now, the Thunder have hella guards. That's what makes them so dynamic and so special. The Spurs have hella guards. The Nuggets, nah. Lakers, nah. But honestly, to me, the Nuggets and the Lakers are mid right now at best. I don't see the Nuggets or the Lakers doing anything to make any real noise. I mean, you still have Jokic, so you're gonna win a lot of games with Jokic. That's a given. But at the end of the day, when it comes to the playoffs, they're just not athletic enough for me. Like I don't like this past season in the playoffs. Like the majority of people were saying that it was a given that they were going to beat the Timberwolves in the first round, and I was like, it's never a given with that matchup because the Timberwolves are just way more athletic than them. Like it's night and day. Like they can run them off the court, really, and that's what they did. They can just like athlete them off the court. And that's what they did. That's what they've been doing every time they face up in the playoffs. So I don't really like the Nuggets as a team. Like the Nuggets don't scare me whatsoever. Whatsoever. If I was like a fan of any other team in the West, I'm not worried about the Nuggets at all. Same with the Lakers. The Lakers just at the end of the day, they're not athletic enough. Luka's gonna win you a lot of games. I don't I'm not a Reeves guy. I don't really believe in Austin Reeves. I think Austin Reeves is just he's all right. He's more of a six man to me. Like if he's a starter on your team, you're not doing anything serious in the playoffs. So not really. I'm not really worried about the Lakers at all. And the rest of their roster is average at best. The Rockets are disappointing. I don't like Sengun at all because the whole thing around Sengun was that he was, a baby Jokic, and if you're not gonna be baby Jokic, then you have no use for me. At least if this were my team, you have no use. I'm out on Sengun completely. I don't trust him to do anything, and if you have a big that doesn't play defense and that's not really big or athletic, I'm out on you, Houston Rockets, for the moment. I like him in. Um, I don't know. They were just real meh last season, and I thought they were going to be solid. They need a point guard. I don't like Fred VanVleet being your point guard. Yeah. So right now, I'm out on the Houston Rockets because the story in the West right now is you need guards. You need guard play. A few of them, not just one or two. You need a good rotation of guards if you want to compete. Because the top two teams in the West, they ran you niggas off the floor last year, every night consistently. 62 games, 64 games that they won respectfully. Just running niggas off the floor. That's what the Thunder have been doing the last couple years, and it's been working to an elite rate, damn near 80%, 80% win percentage. So like, and the Spurs, same thing. They run you niggas off the floor. And on the defensive end, they both have really good defensive bigs. I mean, Wimby is Wimby. You already know that. They have Chet and Hartenstein that can rim protect in OKC, so they can run a lot of different lineups. A lot of guards play, and they just run up and down the floor. That's why they beat everybody by like 20 points every night. Both these teams just running you niggas off the floor. Like you niggas just can't keep up. And I think teams in the West are starting to realize that, and now they're building their teams accordingly. Like for the Minnesota Timberwolves, I love the LaMelo Ball trade for them. I love everything they've been doing. Get Julius out of here. He's useless. He's garbage. I don't want to see him play meaningful basketball ever. Nas Reed was cool, but Nas Reed was real streaky, inefficient. Sometimes you can't even tell he's on the team sometimes. So, like, I love what they did. Love what they did. LaMelo Ball really elevates this team, brings them to another ceiling. I think the Timberwolves should be honestly. I think the Timberwolves should be up here. Between the 3 and the 1 seed, maybe for with OKC and San Antonio, because you got Ant, Io, T.S. Terrence Shannon, Jaden McDaniels, LaMelo, Dante when he comes back from injury. Who else they got over there? They just drafted Isaiah Evans, really good shooter. Bones, Rudy over there protecting the paint. Joan Behringer, second year player that they really believe in. We'll see what he does in summer league. But the Timberwolves have really fallen into that mold of OKC and San Antonio, to where they have a lot of guards, super athletic, can run up and down the floor. But I think the thing that sets the Timberwolves apart is that they can shoot the hell out of the ball now. Like, they can shoot the hell out of the ball. I feel like the Timberwolves should be the best offense in the league this coming season if, Chris Finch isn't a dumbass, which he tends to be at times. They should be the best offense in the league. They should lead the league in transition points. Because when you have LaMelo pushing the ball, and all those athletes, especially Ant, running the floor, spraying out to the 3-point line, knocking down shots. It could get real scary. I think the Timberwolves are going to be really good next year. Really good. Really good. If everybody stays healthy, I think they're going to be 3 seed minimum next year. Like, I don't see how anyone thinks otherwise. Because people that don't watch LaMelo hate on LaMelo because of what they hear, what everybody else says, and it's just all bullshit. LaMelo is like a top top 3-point guard in the league right now. Like he's that guy, and she can shoot it from anywhere. Arguably, maybe the best passer in the league. Like he's gonna bring these Wolves to another level, a whole nother level. Yeah, you got Phoenix. I don't. Phoenix is mid. I don't really. They don't move me at all. And then Portland. Portland should be 6 seed minimum next year. I feel like, because like I said, when you have all those guards are super athletic, and when you're an athlete, you're liable to play good to great defense. You got Donovan Clingan. If they find a way to keep Rob Williams next season, you have the bigs that can um, at least compete with the other bigs out west. You could be real scary. You things could get real scary. They could really put out they could really put out a 4 guard starting lineup, and all guys can give you 30. I mean, Denny can give you 30 piece, and Denny's a good passer as well. Denny's a great passer. Denny can give you 30 piece with like 7 to 10 assists. Ja could give you 30 piece with 7 to 10 assists. Like they got Ja and Denny, who are both good passers. Ja's not the best shooter, but that's why you have a Dame. Drew can shoot the ball, Scoot can shoot the ball, and Shaden can shoot the ball. So you're gonna have shooting. You're gonna have athleticism. Guys are gonna be running up and down the floor. You know, they have the size to play good defense. At least generate turnovers, and that's what you want. You just want to generate turnovers, like. And then you have Donovan down low. Donovan. Donovan kind of got exposed in the Wemby matchup, but I mean that's Wemby. That happens to a lot of people. But Donovan can shoot the ball as well. I mean, he's a willing shooter. I'll at least say that he's a willing shooter. You don't want him taking like 5 threes a game, but he will take them if the opportunity arises. You have Yang Hansen. I don't really know a lot about this guy, but people really seem to like him. And he's got good size as well. That's another big you have on your roster. And like I said, Rob Williams, who both these guys can play defense. Donovan is a rim protector. Rob is a rim protector. Like I said, I don't know anything about Young Hansen. Maybe he can be another rim protector as well. Give you some more depth in your front court. They should be really. And then you have Tumani, who's a great defender. You got Matisse, who's a great defender. I mean, this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They can go 11 deep in the regular season, essentially. Which will be great for Dame as well, coming off an Achilles, to where he doesn't have to play 30 minutes a night. He can ease back into things, find his rhythm. And these other guys can just go. Like I don't really see the problem with this at all. You have so much roster flexibility, so many different lineups you can put out. Lineup flexibility. I'll say so many different lineups you can put out on the floor every night. I mean, this is just. I really like this for the Blazers. I think they're going to be in that higher tier of the Western Conference next season, because they definitely got my attention. I'm really interested. Like, but like I said, I feel like the public opinion, at least at the first reaction to this trade, was that people aren't understanding. People aren't understanding the thought process for the Blazers in this, and I'm like, isn't it obvious? Maybe people are late to the party. People are usually late to the party or whatever, but like the league is going in a different direction right now. And it's been that for the last couple seasons. At least the Thunder really put the blueprint out there, and I don't know why people aren't seeing it already. Guard play is at a premium right now, a premium. Because and how do you combat a presence like Wemby? You need to get out and run. Get as many easy buckets as you can. Get as many good looks as you can. Because in a half court setting, it becomes real problematic. when Wemby's just out there on the floor. And you've seen that these playoffs, at least for the Thunder, and the way the Thunder were able to take the Spurs to 7 games. The way that was a competitive series for them is because of their depth. In the Thunder Spurs playoff matchup, the Thunder had a game where the bench scored like 70 points. That's the bench alone. Like that's what you need. You need depth. You need guard play. You need athletes, and you need shooters. And I feel like the Blazers have all of those right now. Literally all of those. And at the same time, you have guys that are willing passers in Ja and Denny that can get everybody involved. Spray the ball around, and just go and which allows guys to just go out there and hoop. And they got people that can play good defense. I feel like if with when you have more scoring options, it gives you more energy to focus on the defensive end. You know, with just look at the Thunder. Literally, just look at the Thunder. The Thunder have multiple guys that can give you at least 20. That can give you at least 20 at any moment in time. So, which allows people to which allows for the team as a unit not to carry such an offensive burden, which means that they will have more energy on the defensive end to really lock in and play solid defense, at least solid defense. So I think that's going to be the same case for the Blazers in this sense, because they got some dogs over there. They have real athletes. Part of one thing you need to play great defense is you need to be an athlete. All of the good defenders in the league are great athletes. So you need that minimum, and then everything else is effort and will. And I think that they're gonna have all of that. So I love this trade for the Blazers. I think they just went from playing team to a locked playoff team, easily. I feel like I like the Blazers more than the Suns right now. I like them more than the Rockets, the Lakers, and the Nuggets because because you saw what happened to Jokic in the playoffs when the Timberwolves started to get downhill. It got ugly for Jokic. It got ugly for him, and they just couldn't compete. And that was even without Ant and Dante on the floor. They still lost in 6 games. I mean, Io went for 43. What are we talking about here? I'm not worried about the Nuggets or the Lakers. I'm out on both these teams for the foreseeable future. I'm out on the Rockets right now. I'm out on the Suns. Everybody else, Warriors, I'm not a believer. People were saying LeBron and AD are going to go to the Warriors. Man, we're done with the 90s. I don't really care. That doesn't really move me at all. Those old ass niggas, get them out of here. But I feel like the Blazers should be low key, maybe in contention next year. And with having this guard depth, like I said, Dame doesn't have to be Dame right now. And maybe he never goes back to being the Dame that we know. But at least he won't have to be, or you know but at the minimum he can start easing back into things, get his rhythm back, get his game back together, see where he's at physically, and just see where his game's at right now, because he's gonna have time. He's not gonna have to play heavy minutes because you have so much depth. You have so many guys that can go. So I just think this is really good for the Blazers. Really good. I love where they're at right now. They should make some real noise. I feel like they're going to turn a lot of heads next season. Cuz like I said, the blueprint is out there. The Spurs have a lot of guards. I mean, you got Harper, Fox, Castle, Vassell. Vassell's really a guard type. You got Champagny. They really run 4 guards plus Wemby, so, and that got him 62 games. So I mean, the Blazers should at least, I say 50 games next season. That's what I see. I love it for them. I feel like the Blazers and the Timberwolves just got significantly better, seeing what the landscape is right now, and acting accordingly. I think this is a great move for the Blazers, and I feel like anyone that says otherwise just doesn't know ball or they haven't been watching. It's that simple. It's really that simple. So yeah, I feel like the Blazers are going to be really good. I feel like they, at least before free agency, we'll see what happens in free agency. But I feel like they shouldn't make any moves right now. If anything, maybe if you're gonna do anything in free agency, just try to keep certain guys. Maybe add certain guys if you feel the need to. But to me, this roster, I really like this roster right now, as is, because they were already starting to make noise last season. They were playing really well. Got to the A seed, or the 7th seed. I mean, or at least that's where they finished before the play-in. Um, but I really like what they're doing right now. I think they're really building. Um, yeah, I feel like they should. I really like this roster. Like I said, you could start four guards. You can go with a starting lineup of Dame, Drew, Denny, and I say Ja or Scoot. I think Ja's liable to come off the bench. Just maybe at the start of the season to see where he's at. Um, and I don't know if he'll necessarily okay to that. I saw reports saying that they plan to start Ja, so maybe Scoot comes off the bench in another year. And we'll see how Scoot feels about that because this is going into his fourth season. I think this is year four for Scoot. You don't want to be off the bench for your whole career. Well, I mean, so at least I say for the rest of your contract, play it out, see what happens. Maybe if you play well in your role, you might get a big payday somewhere else. If the Blazers keep this roster and you know don't don't feel the need to bring you up. So Scoot, it could be Ja or Scoot off the bench first, and then Shaden Sharp off the bench. Um, and then you bring it, and then off the bench you got Matisse and Tumani off the bench as well. So that's a really deep lineup. And then your starting center is going to be Klingon, and then bring Rob off the bench, Hansen off the bench if he's any good. And this is good for Rob as well because we know his injury history. So you don't want him playing heavy minutes all season, um, which will be good come playoff time. Have a fresh Rob Will who can be a real factor on the defensive end. So, like I said, I feel like this is a great move for the Blazers. I love what they did. I feel like they have a lot of flexibility with the roster right now, different lineups. They can run out and they can just run. They can just run guys off the floor and shoot and just run and shoot guys off the floor. Really play good aggressive defense. I really like this. And with the way the league is trending, especially with the Western Conference right now, they're taking the necessary steps. They're taking the necessary steps. Like we saw with the Pacers last season. I mean, when they made their finals run, they had Pascal and Miles Turner, but they were pushing the pace as well with Halliburton. They had a lot of athletes, a lot of guards that were pushing the pace. Like so, the blueprint is out. You just gotta realize it and adjust. And I think that's what they're doing, and I really like it. I think they should be really good next season. So we'll see what happens in free agency, but for right now, I think this is a great trade on the Blazers end. Essentially a buy low, and you're able to dump a contract, so you have more flexibility. Maybe you resign Rob Will. This is a great trade, a real great trade. So with that being said, we'll see what else happens in this offseason, but it's been fire. It's been fire. The NBA is in a really good spot right now. A really good spot. It's cracking right now. It's lit. It's lit. We're like weeks removed from the finals, and man, I can't wait for next season already. I feel like it's gonna be a movie. It's gonna be a movie. I really like what the NBA is doing. Um, I mean, for a little bit, I was like not really too in tune with the league, but now with this last season, with everything that happened last season and going into next season, oh boy, I'm all the way invested. I'm all the way invested. So I'll catch you guys later.